I'm gonna be getting out of work like an hour before the run on Thursday.
Really? Oh shit.
I, I have no I have no other option. I'm already calling out of a shift earlier in the week.
I see. Okay.
So,
I think it should be fine so long as like you're here like 30 minutes before. We're probably like gonna be in the green room or whatever it's called.
yeah, I think so.
Just like making sure that everything's okay. Yeah, I had to take the day off, or not take the day off, but do like a half day.
Dang. It's official for July 4th, right?
Yes, July 4th,
Okay.
8 p.m. my time, which is like
Yeah, it
2-ish.
should be around 3 p.m. our time, Mikey.
All right.
Officially 2:57, but
Okay,
Yeah, I'm all good for it.
cool. Okay, let's just get a quick like audio check, see if the chat can hear everybody, all three of us. So if you guys just speak for a little bit, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. Puddings, how are you?
I'm tired.
I get it.
MKDS is a game that challenges me.
Yeah, I remember the like ghost syncing process being a huge pain in the ass at first, but then I ended up wrapping my head
I didn't even
around it.
get to that step, which is like the worst part.
But are you doing it in for CGGP?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
different.
okay.
on
It's different.
CCGP.
Yeah, I have not gone in that direction yet.
Interesting.
Anyway, can you guys hear the game audio or no? Probably not.
From the Discord stream, no.
Okay. That's one probably downside to the whole thing. Might not be able to hear the game sound. And it's just really difficult to... Game audio heard? Oh, okay. Alright, well, I guess we'll just jump into a run and see how it goes.
Yeah, I can just like put music on for myself.
Okay, is there like any like pre-introduction that
Yeah,
would be thing for the run?
I mean, we're gonna get many attempts at this anyway, but I've written like a short introduction. You guys can just, I guess, just...
Oh, I didn't even think to read.
My notes are gonna be a bit... Well, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go through them, because in between tracks I'd have to like scroll down the document. But anyway. How's the weather over there, Abel? Been really hot here for the last couple days. It's, yeah, like 30 degrees Celsius, Carcoon.
That's like pretty hot Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's pretty... I don't know what it is, Fahrenheit.
86 Fahrenheit, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, hello, Kinder. And hello, everybody. We're going to be
Hello.
practicing for Summer Games Done Quick run, which is on Thursday, the 4th of July. So we're going to be doing some commentary. Puddings and Mikey are with me.
Hello.
Yeah. So we're just going to be doing some dry running of the commentary. So it may be a bit stale at the beginning, but we'll work through it. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay. So I guess I'll go ahead from now on and then start the run. So hello, my name's Abel. I'm a Mario Kart DS player from the UK. I'll be running the 32 tracks main category. It consists of playing through every track in the game against the CPUs. And I'm delighted to say that on this 4th of July, I'm joined by two of America's finest players in commentary, Puddings and Mikey.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Okay. I think we'll just get right into it. So if we can get a countdown going. 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo!
Okay. So I'll just start off by saying that this is the first track of the Mushroom Cup, and one which I often say is the snaking sandbox of the game. It teaches you the mini turbo mechanics, and it teaches you how snaking works.
Yeah, so snaking is, as you just saw right there, instead of just doing drifts, multiple drifts in the corners, you can do multiple drifts on straights by alternating the direction. This is called snaking because you move kind of like a snake.
Yep. You just go left, right, or you start a drift, go in the opposite direction, then go in the same, opposite, same, and you'll see you'll get the blue sparks and the orange. And you just do that over and over again. As you can see, we're not losing any boost. And you can also notice Abel is not losing any speed on the grass. This is a technique we call PRB, or Prolonged Rocket Boost. So the startup boost at the very beginning, we can actually use that to keep our speed on off-road. And if you keep snaking and never lose a single frame, then you're just going to keep going fast on off-road. And as you can see right here, we're about to PRB the entire track.
Yeah. PRB.
Never mind.
Never mind. Yeah. PRB operates basically. You need to release your mini turbo before the boost from the previous one runs out. And look at that, we just had a blue shell dodge.
And we dodged a blue shell and finished the race. We got a lot to explain, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, the blue shell dodge will just come up organically.
Yep. You just when a blue shell's coming, you just stop snaking for a bit, and then once it's right about to come down on you, you release and hop, and then you dodge it. We're going to see that about 30 more times.
So this is Yoshi Falls, second track in the game. It came back as a retro track in Mario Kart Wii. And very interesting fact is that a tool-assisted speedrun of the Fast Lap has been done here recently, where I believe you bounce on the egg. I don't know if one of you could explain it a bit more. I forgot.
Yeah, it just uses launch to basically bounce off the egg and then go right to the end of the track, but that doesn't work in this version because the egg is just a 2D object. Again, one of the more baffling changes made for that.
One more thing I'd like to mention as well is that since you're facing the CPUs, colliding against them can bring about a lot of problems, as you would have seen there by Waluigi.
Oh my goodness, right in
between. So ideally you want to get medium to light character weights as your rivals in second and third place.
Yeah, it's important to note we're using dry bones on the egg 1. It's generally considered the best combo in the game, but it's also the lightest, which means any heavy CPUs that want to come around, they will bump you and you will go flying. So you gotta avoid them at all costs. There's been a lot of speedruns killed Bowser, Wario, those kind of guys.
I want to interrupt. That was hilarious.
I saw the red shell,
The red shell just missed.
It just went around him.
That's because the red shell's pathing in this game is both really amazing and terrible.
Yeah.
If anybody's played this game, you know that the red shells will find a way to hit you no matter what, even if you have bananas or a protective item. But at the same time, sometimes they'll just forget that you exist and you get off scot-free.
Yep. And then there's tracks like Rainbow Road where it'll just fall off. That's it.
Yeah, the red shell AI will not detect that you're... it'll completely ignore you if you're in the water. And with, the right timing, it'll just go right past you. Okay, so we're about to finish the third race here. Next track being based off the GameCube launch title, Luigi's Mansion. Probably one of my favorite tracks and races quite well on 100cc as well, which is the Wi-Fi speed. For those of you who remember, Nintendo Wi-Fi connection was a thing for this game before sadly the service got discontinued in, I think it was 2014, and we're getting a bit of roughness from the CPUs right now.
Are we allowed to mention that Wi-Fi is a thing, or is that not allowed?
Wi-Fi.
I think it's totally fine, honestly.
Okay, cool. Thankfully, Wi-Fi exists, and you can still play online. Go to MKDS Network to find out how to do it.
Yeah. So for this track in particular, it's pretty straightforward. Those corridors at the beginning are kind of narrow, so you want to make sure you're getting there before the computers do. But I guess we can introduce this as well. This is the home of one of 3 new shortcuts found this year.
Oh boy, the glitches.
And sadly, this one is barely RTA viable.
Very hard. Only a couple people.
If not RTA viable at all, I think only 2 people have landed it in real time. Yep. 3 actually, because I landed it.
What, you did?
I did, but it was really slow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got close to landing it, but I can see that pause buffering is the most effective method here, right?
Yeah, you basically
we
just
probably
kind
don't
of
want
rub,
to try
you
that.
you basically
On
just
this
rub
speed run.
against the left wall there, and you can hop over the
Oh,
wall
that's
down to this
unlucky.
bottom part at this table here, and you'll just bounce directly down, and you can just keep driving from there, and it saves a little over a second if you do it well,
Yep.
Yes.
or it
And well,
loses you 3 seconds if you do it the way I did.
yeah, it's a frame perfect hop as well as some frame perfect alignment. A lot of players opt to use pause buffering to make it a lot easier, but we're not going to go for it today because it's too hard for the speedrun. Plus, we're still ahead anyway, so it's all good. Now, next up we got Desert Hills. I think we're going to see some PRB right here through the side of the pyramid.
Assuming
watch
that
out for
the
Bowser.
computers don't mess with us too much.
That just took us
Uh,
off the line a
It
little
was
bit. But there we go.
re-
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was recently discovered here. Thanks to tool assisted runs, that you can actually keep PRB for all 3 laps,
Oh,
assuming that you have task precision, which we will not be seeing here.
Unfortunately, Abel's not quite there yet, but we might see it in a year or two.
Yeah, give it another 20 years. That's almost as long as I've been playing, so...
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so the only things really to worry about in this track are just the low traction and the fireballs and everything. Pokies are pretty consistent.
Yeah, watch out for those guys.
We aren't going to be doing like any kind of hill shenanigans because bagging for shrooms would just take way too long for anything that would save.
Yeah, getting good items isn't really worth it in this.
Computers are
speedrun.
kind of dumb. I guess the last thing that I want to
Okay.
mention for this track is my obscure MKDS fact number 1.
Of many.
Of the skyboxes in this game, Desert Hills skybox is the only one that rotates in a clockwise direction.
Oh, you were the person
There you
who said
go.
that.
Mhm.
Not surprised.
Maybe it's on the
Mhm.
other side of the world compared to every other track. We gotta travel a while to get here.
It's the only one in the southern hemisphere, yeah. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
All right, Delfino Square. This is my personal favorite track. Really good vibes. It's kind of based on Mario Sunshine because you got the Piantas, you got all the architecture. They sound like that, yeah. And this was the second track to receive a shortcut in the last few months. What you could do is you can go just to the left right there, right before this dock, and you could do a jump and then you'll land next to a wall and you'll do a frame perfect hop and you'll jump right before that
We'll
bridge
try
right there.
to point out where it is, like on lap 2, what turn you skip.
Yeah.
That's true.
One other thing I just wanted to point out generally for all the tracks, if you get a fake item box, they tend to be quite useless, so you want to do your best to get rid of them by flinging them away from
So this
your
wall
racing line.
Hmm.
Yeah, that wall right there that was in front of Abel at that second is the wall that we hop over to skip it, and it saves a pretty good amount of time.
Yes. But despite this big glitch, there's still a lot of other cool shortcuts on this track. You could go through that little mud patch. You could do it without a mushroom, and it's still a little bit faster.
Oh
You can
yeah,
also
isn't
jump towards
Abel
the
legally
dock.
required to do the dock cut?
Yes, as I
Yeah,
was
I'm gonna
saying,
do it now.
you can also jump over to the dock, which saves a considerable amount of time, which Abel's going to do right here. And look at that! Yeah, it's a little hard to land it and also like hop right there to not fall off. It's done a lot in time trials, but for this run, it doesn't save too much time. Still,
Yeah.
very cool to see.
Yeah, fun fact about that dock cut is the red shells will follow you on it.
It is pretty menacing, yeah. And,
It's incredible.
okay,
Yeah,
from one shortcut
alright.
to another, this one is probably
This
the
is the
most
one that
famous.
It's the
Probably
big boy
seen
shortcut.
online.
Oh, yeah.
Abel is probably gonna go. I think you need to be in like 5th or 6th or so.
Mm-hmm. All right, 4th, 5th, 6th. Okay, and
Oh,
let's see. Oh,
yes.
perfect.
Okay,
We're trying
amazing.
this all 3 laps now.
So we're gonna try to jump off of this ramp to the left and do a weird kind of wall
good alignment.
interaction.
Close, close.
So Abel needs to lean his cart back and then press right and the shroom and then right, and then hop the frame he lands.
And
Pretty
Abel
precise.
accidentally presses X, but it's fine.
That's okay. Gained a little bit of time. Yeah, and the nice thing about the shortcut is you don't lose too much time if you fail it. You could just keep racing. Not that you'll
Yeah.
see that very much, because this is only really done on time trials. Uh-oh.
Never
The
mind.
shock ruins our lives again.
And for those wondering, it is possible shroomless, but it requires rapid fire left-right. And no.
Yeah, we're not doing that. No one's ever done a shroomless. Probably no one ever will.
Of the 3 shortcuts, though, that were discovered this year,
Ooh.
this is probably the easiest of the 3. It's been done by about a few dozen people so far.
Almost 30 right now, I believe.
Yeah, about that amount.
Meanwhile, the other shortcuts, I think they've both only been performed by like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, it's because this one saves about 6 to 7 seconds, so there's a huge incentive to do it. So also, before I forget, all 3 of these shortcuts, just want to give a shout out to Zumo de Papaya and Guanlong X for basically discovering all 3 of these, and also to 9 MKDS, a Japanese player, for theorizing the Delfino shortcut like 5 or 6 years ago, and finally getting his due.
See you in August, lad.
You'll have to see it. Ooh, close pinball.
Yeah, very close. And
Not
I
close.
just got triple comboed there. Pinball, flipper, and green shell.
Oh, I didn't even see the green shell.
Anyway.
Yeah, we were too busy talking about the glitch. We didn't even talk about the actual track. But there's pinballs, and sometimes that can happen.
Yep. Track based in a pinball machine environment. But anyway, moving on to Shroom Ridge now. Final track of the Flower Cup. Another track which is very, very cycle based. Tool assisted speed run for it got improved here recently, so go check it out. It's Meta Roto's YouTube channel. And I don't know, I don't have my notes with me.
Yeah, don't
this
worry.
is a pretty iconic track, very popular amongst both casuals, not so much time trialers.
I like
but
this one.
it's very one of the things about this track is that grass patch that you saw in the middle of the lap is possible to cut across with PRB. It's one of the more difficult PRB strats in the game, and the current world record holder Taiga actually does PRB on this track for all 3 laps, which is kind of unheard of.
It's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, only one other person, MK Dasher, has done 2 laps, and I'm sure we'll be mentioning his name, both of their names, a few more times during this run.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're essentially the Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi of this world. So, I mean, if there's any comparison, I think that's that, because no other player comes close to them.
Speaking of MK Dasher, we just passed him right there in that red car. That's him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he drives that red car.
Okay.
We won't
part
be
of
seeing
the-
mission mode today, but there's a lot of cool stuff you'll see
That's
there.
some of the great lore you can come to learn if you watch Abel on Twitch.
Yep. And also, going back to the topic of tasks, there has been a lot of new task activity in the last few months. It all started with the discovery of all those shortcuts we mentioned, but also a couple people decided to start making brand new tasks of this game for the first time in a while. And there's a lot of new times, such as Shroom Ridge, as well as Waluigi Pinball. I believe.
Not to credit myself too much, but yeah, I was able to kind of kickstart this revival of the tasks scene,
yes.
those new discoveries, but also just promoting more knowledge, and we're very open to helping people. I'm going to talk about that item box. As you saw right there, there's a secret item box up there. Most people know about it, but I still find people who don't know that it exists like on a weekly basis. But you can get either star, triple shrooms. Those are the 2 most likely ones, but it is possible to get a single shroom, and there is a 1 in 200 chance to get a red shell, which is not what you
ideal.
want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is the first track of the Star Cup, one of the greatest tourist attractions of this game. And yeah, as you can see, that item box is, I believe, on the highest point in the entire track, which is very fascinating. And the rest of it drives, it's a little bumpy, as you can see. Not a lot of polygons either, but a lot of top players know how to maneuver this track very well.
Yeah, there's a select, group of people who really enjoy this track, but I would say that
one of
this
them.
is one of the more universally disliked tracks. just because of its more jank kind of layout. But it's still a lot of fun to race when everything just works out just right.
Absolutely.
Oh, I
think it's a lot more fun in the speedrun.
Yeah, I've always liked this track. Even though it's got a lot of uneven terrain and elevation changes and
snowballs.
Sadly snowballs with awkward cycles. But
yeah. Oh my god.
And now we've got a blue shell.
Okay.
Sometimes they're impossible to dodge purely because of bad timing and being in the air, so you cannot generate a mini turbo in time. One other thing we didn't mention is lightnings. They are the biggest hindrance of the run. They automatically slash off, I think it's 5 seconds at the very least of your time.
Yeah,
so
5 to 8 seconds for every lightning, depending on where in the track it hits you.
And I believe you mentioned puddings. There was a 1 in 800 chance for.
Yeah, the current world record for this category, a 52-15 by Abel, gets hit by only 1 lightning in the entire run. To give a little bit of context, the computers have the 8th place computer has a 1 in 8 chance of getting a lightning on any box, and
after 30 seconds. Yes.
After 30 seconds, and Abel managed to only get hit once, which was chances of about 1 in 800.
Incredible.
We haven't seen a run that good in months.
Yes,
actually, he came very close to it with some really good luck recently. Unfortunately,
like 20 something. Oh, can't quit out of this one.
Sorry, no resetting.
Yeah. So. Wait, I just read the notes. What the hell is the Oh, it's the painting.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention this. So we're up to TikTok Luck right now. Really cool track inspired by Super Mario 64. You can see we got this really nice pendulum right here, and I'm thinking if we manipulate enough RNG, we might be able to speed that pendulum up to the point where the game crashes. That might only be in Mario 64 though, I'm not sure.
Also there is a task-only shortcut to the left there that you can, for some reason, hit like the finishing hitbox, and it has only been landed in real time by 1 person in a way that actually saved time. And it's just too precise to really care about, but...
Yeah, it's incredibly hard. Next we got Mario Circuit. We're going to see some PRB right here.
Yeah, this is a fun PRB track when you're first kind of starting out. When you get a little bit more experience with PRB, this is a fun track to kind of test your skills at.
Oh my goodness, you saw that bomb, right?
I did. Almost got completely annihilated.
That was really
one
close.
thing I'm going to attempt here is this shortcut that was discovered in 2014, and it almost landed. It basically just involved skipping that portion of the track by jumping over the wall. It's, I think, 2 second time save, something like that.
Something like that. There's a piece of geometry basically before that wall that kind of juts up a little bit, and if you hop right at the end of it, you can clear the wall. Abel famously lost one of his best world records to the discovery of this shortcut back in 2014, and will still talk about it today.
Yes, it is often said that Abel is, quote, morally opposed to this shortcut, and understandably so. Yeah, it's also, it's not too fun to fail it either, because you can't really recover as quickly as, say, the Waluigi pinball shortcut. If you fail it, then you're going to lose a good few seconds. Not as much time as falling in the water like that, though, don't worry.
Owing to a Goomba, yeah.
Yeah, Abel has a history with Goombas on this track as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's another mission mode reference.
Okay, we're getting another
fun.
Yeah.
Alright. We're going to be able to dodge this one very easily. Yep, there we go. Alright, and we're going to be closing in on the last track of the Star Cup. It's going to be Airship Fortress. Alright.
I was just very tempted to just entirely speak in German for this next track because I've been playing it last night.
Yeah, I
think if you do one sentence, it'd be really funny, and then we just pretend that we have no clue what you're saying.
Wir haben fliegende Festung. This is another track that's based off of a Mario 3 theme, and it has a bunch of thin corridors, You go in a cannon. It's a lot of fun. It is also the home to a shortcut theory, where we can skip the first half of the track, but it's not looking too likely.
Yeah, this was recently discovered with tool assist by iMath, also known as Rob. Very cool shortcut. It involves bouncing off the heads of the rocky wrenches that you're going to see coming up right here. These guys. It does not seem much faster, though, since you have to wait for the cycle and it takes a while, but it is very cool.
One thing also, in that first section of the track, you might have seen Abel just kind of go through that bullet. So the hitboxes on those are only basically the face, and you can just drive through the entire back end of them, and you will not collide with them. And also the hitbox is way, way smaller than you'd think. But it's only large when, you know, you're on pace. Then the hitbox actually expands.
Yeah, of course. As we know, as you get faster in this game, everything else makes it more of a challenge. Like those rocky wrenches, they actually pop out way more when you're going faster.
Yeah.
This has not been proven, but we know it's true.
Yeah. I also just want to give a brief shout out to Dylan, one of my favorite MKDS players of all time, for creating, getting a world record back here in 2011. That is one of the best MKDS videos of all time. I'd recommend checking it out. Just look up Airship Fortress 143, and your life will be changed.
Dylan Boy 78.
Real quick, we also recommend watching the Cha-Cha Slide performed by Rob on Airship Fortress. That's another life-changing video. Anyway, here's Wario Stadium. We've made it to the Special Cup, so the tracks are going to get a bit harder from here. So Abel's going to go off these boost panels and perform some PRB through the mud. We're going to skip these big ramps, which actually are slower than just going through the mud here like this.
So there's two different approaches to life, and also Wario Stadium. You know, you can either go through the trials and tribulations, or you can just PRB around it.
Yep, and I personally choose to PRB around it. Also, we have a very cool out-of-bounds shortcut right here. You can jump off that little hill, and you get a bounce, then you could fall out of bounds, and then land right before the finish line. This saves a little less than a second.
About a second to a second
Around
and a half.
a second,
yeah.
And it works by basically you're hitting the checkpoint zone on the other end. If anybody's familiar with Summoning Souls videos on Mario Kart Wii, and you've seen all those broken,
nice.
with the checkpoint regions, this game actually works. In that case, we actually do need to collect all the key checkpoints, but it doesn't mean that we can take some funky routes to get to some of them a little bit quicker than we normally would.
Yep, there's only really a couple times you'll see it executed in this game, mainly Wario Stadium and Rainbow Road, which we'll get to in a few tracks. But it is very cool to see that we can take advantage of some of the checkpoints, although, in my opinion, PRB is much cooler.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I'm usually, no! Wario Stadium is known for having terrible item, just moments.
Yeah.
It's one of the most item box dense tracks in the game.
Almost didn't make that one there, but yeah, for some reason, look at that wonderful positioning.
Nice.
The level of the amount of red shells fired in particular here is really, really high. It's unusually high, and I'm guessing it's because of what you mentioned, Puddings, I guess.
Yeah. So Peach Gardens, this is a track that we don't really have much to say about, other than if you're Madman, you can do PRB here. But for us mortals, it's really just about kind of taking good lines, navigating through the flowers, and losing as little time as possible.
Yeah. The only thing I have in my notes here is Peach has a very big garden. I don't know what else to say. Just make jokes. So we're gonna do that.
Yeah. One thing I will mention about item luck: this is not actually a track that's too bad for items. Special Cup in general does just kind of screw you over with items more often than not. We don't know if it's perception bias or not, but one thing I did do was I conducted a statistical analysis of Abel's item distributions in this game for like 2 months, and I was able to find out that DK as a computer gets red shells at a rate 20% higher than any other computer that I was able to look at, and I don't know why.
I was actually talking about this yesterday on stream, and I think it's just probably something to do with the games files. I don't know.
We don't know how or why. We'll see if the game ever gets fully decompiled someday. Hopefully we'll finally unlock that mystery.
And many others.
That's what I care about. I don't care about anything else.
Okay. Another quote-unquote issue with going too fast in this game against CPUs is that you catch the tail end of the 8th and 7th place players, and they can be very, very difficult to navigate around because they'll get in your way, push you around, and in a lot of instances you'll be close to, say, a 7th place player, you're close to the finish line, and that 7th place player right next to you will fire a blue shell. Like, it's happened to me so often. And it's very, very, exactly. It's essentially an MKDS jump scare.
As we've seen many a times.
But yeah,
this is one of the hardest tracks in the run. I mean, it's just a really hard track in general. Very technical. Requires you to navigate a bunch of different surfaces.
There's a lot of narrow paths, as you'll see right here. You gotta kind of weave between these swamps. You gotta do a nice double hop right here, get some mini turbos in the air, very carefully snake across that bridge, which is absolutely tiny, and that's not even mentioning the rotating bridge that we're about to get to, where expert players such as Abel will be able to squeeze out a couple MTs while on the bridge, and then we'll set up for a little bit of a jump right here.
Yeah, this is a pretty legendary track for high-end play. There's if you ever see the world record for this track, on lap 3 or lap 2, you can just see Taiga with the BLS, a track that is a cart that is way harder to control than the egg, vaulting up across the spinning bridge back and forth, barely hanging on, and you're wondering, how is this kid even doing it?
Yeah, Taiga is one of the many mysteries we've yet to solve. Oh, we're okay. Wait,
just about okay.
Okay.
We almost discovered a shortcut there. But
I think Abel was just trying a new shortcut live during the run.
Yeah, so that's actually, I didn't think I was ever going to get the chance to talk about this, but that actually is very similar to a strat that is done in the tool-assisted missions speedrun, where there's an invisible wall at the end of the bridge on one of the missions, 7-2, that you can actually jump over, but it's so precise. But that was pretty cool.
I feel like if you mention that during the actual run, you'll have like a... Oh, okay. You'll have like a bounty on you by Super or something.
Right.
We'll see.
Alright, so for all intents and purposes, nobody heard that. Anyway, Rainbow Road, the final track of the Nitro tracks, and one of the hardest and one of the most shortcut
Rainbow Road
tracks.
Yeah, we're gonna see, probably not lap 1, but this is a track that, at least in a live marathon setting, just never goes well.
Has quite a history, to say the least.
Completely get destroyed. I mean, even Kevridge back in 2017 got just wrecked on this track as well.
Thankfully, Warrior's taking the blue shell for us. We got hit a little bit, but not completely blown out. And alright, now it's lap 2. We're a lot farther away from the CPUs. We're going to see some pretty cool shortcuts. So, alright, we're not going for the big one yet, but I think we got.
I don't think we have enough space between myself and the CPUs to even try the harder one. So I'm gonna do what we call pipe shortcut right here, where you turn around after these 3 rings, and then execute a mini turbo, fly across to the left of the pipe, and Lakitu picks you up and places you on the other part of the track.
After the final ring, there is a key checkpoint, so we take that, we cross it, and we turn around, and when we jump off the track like that, we navigate a bunch of out-of-bounds zones, and then we cross 2 key checkpoints.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
can you make it?
Hey, we did!
Oh my god.
There we go!
That's actually a first.
Shortcut theorized back in 2006, but finally done in 2014 by MK Dasher. That basically we double back to get the key checkpoint, like the other one, and we go in a very, very precise spot under the track where we can launch ourselves all the way to the loop, and it saves several seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and is probably one of the flashiest shortcuts in the game.
Yep. Very incredible. Let's just hope Abel can replicate that during the actual run.
I didn't expect that to work.
Neither did I. Anyway, we're on to the retro tracks now. Things are going to be a bit more tame for the time being before we get to the harder ones. But first up, we got Mario Circuit 1 from the Super Nintendo, the first ever Mario Kart track. And as you can see, this is just the PRB sandbox.
Playground.
Yeah. We're just going to be cutting these corners really tight, and then on this last turn right here, we're going to go in this huge patch of sand and just tear the whole off. Never mind. That happens sometimes if you go too tight, fly a little too close to the sun. But still, even without PRV, we can navigate this track very quickly. And it's a very quick one. It's only about 40 seconds.
This track was one of the first kind of tracks where PRB was first discovered. Not first discovered, but first kind of utilized by players. And even within the first 3 months of the game's history, we had already subbed 40 seconds from a player named Second.
Yes, Second. And if I'm to, if we're to give credit to a player for discovering the technique, PRB, it would be somebody by the name of Min, a Japanese player. I've never known about him up until only a few years ago. But apparently it's credited to him. So thanks.
Yeah. So the Japanese community, despite getting this game nearly a month later than the Americans, found PRB faster than us.
Yep.
So Moo Farm is another very divisive track, and the whole history of this game in general. 64
Not just this game, but also Mario Kart 64.
Yeah. Very uneven terrain, and we're just going to be basically trying to stay to the right wall as much as possible, doing mini turbos really quickly. And those moles, luckily in this game, are on a cycle that we know about.
Unlike Mario Kart 64.
They are completely random in that game.
Yep. Also, before we go, we got to say hi to the cows. Everyone in chat, please say hi to the cows. And there we go.
Okay. So that's the third track of the Shell Cup. We're off to not third track. Sorry, second track. Off the Peach Circuit now. I'm sure Puddings will do a lot of talking here.
So this is one of my favorite tracks in the non-PRB category. I think that PRB here is overrated, but
in your opinion, sure.
It's the first track in Mario Kart Super Circuit brought over to this game, and I think it's just a lovely track with a lot of satisfying turns with the trees and everything. I guess one of the things we can mention, I wouldn't say that this is one of the world records to watch, but in the first turn we can actually clip the side of the tree to instantly turn around. And that was used pretty much as soon as 2007, I want to say.
Yep. It's also very popular in the no R category, which is a subcategory of time trials where you cannot press the R button. It's actually been seeing a lot of activity recently, and it's very cool. Anyway, we're going to be using the R button a lot more in this run. Oh, very carefully avoiding that banana. And very good run of Peach Circuit.
Yeah,
decent enough.
Kept PRB for about 2.5 laps.
Now this one here is particularly chaotic because you get, how do you say, opposite traffic? I'm not sure.
Two-way driving.
Two-way driving,
yeah.
And if you're going quick enough, then obviously you're going to be getting a lot of red shells in your face if you're not careful.
Yeah. It's another case of, you're right next to a computer and it just launches a blue shell directly next to you and you can't react.
Yep. Thankfully, we got really lucky with the items. We have some triple green shells.
This is a quality item to have on this track. We're also going to be seeing right there a technique called PRB Restart. So PRB, as we mentioned earlier, was initiated from the start boost and us maintaining our chain of mini turbos, but it can also be reinitiated through going off a boost panel. And that is the only other way that we know how to reinitiate it. Mushrooms actually instantly get rid of the technique.
Yep.
And so this is also a pretty common training ground we have for new players to test out their PRB skills.
Yep, for those who can't get the start boost as well. And PRB reset's also used on Wario Stadium. You saw before we used the boost panel and then got PRB from there, and we were able to go through all the mud. So we see it once more here, and I think we see it another time in one more track.
So
me.
Wario Stadium, Luigi Circuit, and I think that's it.
Oh, okay.
No? Well, anyway.
Possibly. Yep. Onto
So-
the Banana Cup. This is Donut Plains 1 based on Super Mario World, and you can see we're going to do some tight PRB
Finally,
right here.
PRB. I know
Very,
Abel's
very
been.
nice.
Oh no.
Alright, we have to show off the beginning. That shortcut to the left actually isn't typically used on time trials. We like to use the dry bomber, which is much better at controlling cart. It can turn a lot tighter, so we actually ignore that shortcut when we're doing PRB with the dry bomber. But it is faster on the Egg 1, which, by the way, now has the world record for PRB. It used to be dry bomber for a long time until two players, Taiga and MK Dasher, recently discovered that the Egg 1 can actually be faster if you're just as good as them.
Yeah, also, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Mario from Canada, Cole Edwards, for having one of the most legendary non-PRB runs in the entire game's history on this track.
Absolutely.
The only person in the world to sub 55 seconds.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Right.
I think one other thing we should probably mention is and we should have mentioned it a while ago, is dry boned and egg 1 being the optimal combo, but it's just common sense.
Yeah, we'll be sure to mention that.
Yeah.
During the actual run.
Anyway, so we're on to Frappe Snowland, probably one of my personal favorites. Races quite well on both 150 and 100cc. I'm just
I think
racing.
this is like. I think this is where you go like, okay, I'm gonna
Donations?
grab a cup of hot cocoa and because it says in the notes, yeah, and then just be like, hey, write some donations. Because I mean, we just have to mention that you like the track. It's kind of slippery, and then just throw it to donations.
Yeah,
guess,
very laid back track, very relaxing music. It's a nice time to just sit back, relax, enjoy some hot chocolate, in July.
Yeah, this track is, if anything, mention it's not quite as broken as its predecessor in Mario Kart 64, where you just sort of drive into the distance, get picked up, and then the lap counts. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, actually, we did have the shortcut that we did on this track basically since game's release that 64 players didn't do until about 5 years ago, but it's harder in 64, so I'll give them a pass.
Oh, definitely. I thought you were gonna destroy them there for a sec, but
No, I've learned, well, no. For my Carter contest campaign, I need to be nice to the other games, at least for now.
Speaking of, should we mention the Carter contest?
Just to viewers now, this is not something we're going to mention during GDQ, but if you have a player's page profile, make sure to vote in the Carter contest. Nominate 10 players that you think are really cool, and DM me on Discord and enter those players into the tournament. It's a glorified popularity contest, but I think it's pretty cool.
there you
Absolutely. It'd be very
That's
cool if
okay.
you nominate these three handsome fellows as Carter of the Year.
Yeah.
go. So moving
So,
on
Bowser
to
Castle
Bowser Castle 2. Anyway, you can mention something about it, Pudding. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is a track that has a couple interesting strats we're going to just see here. Abel's going to hop on the wall here. This was something
close.
found by a player named Zagetto from the Netherlands, basically on game release. We still shout him out every time today. But this is a track that is probably the most merciful in terms of items. A lot of sharp corners to lose red shells on. And there are only 7 item boxes in the entire track. 4 of them are right there.
Right, yeah. I believe you said this is the track with the least amount of item boxes by a
The
lot.
least amount of item boxes in the game.
Yep.
So
So,
it's
you
just
know,
a whole lot of
Yeah,
driving.
we get to take it slow, or not slow because it's a speed run, but we get to relax a bit, not too many items to worry about. Still a lot of precise driving here, and a lot of parts of the track can be pretty narrow. You saw right there, we didn't have a lot of room for error with the snaking. We also want to hit these boost panels. We go a bit wide for them, but they still save a lot of time. We also want to go
Yeah,
inside that
this is,
flung, which can be a bit precise. Watch out for that banana, and
really-
jump over there, and another zipper.
This is a really annoying track at world record level because we need to do these things called zipper jumps.
You tried to reset
get out of
again.
this one.
No, reset, come on.
So we need to do a thing called zipper jumps, which are a technique that can sometimes be even less than frame perfect. Shoutouts
Yep.
to QM for MK Weep fans out there. But it is a really annoying trick, and is the reason why it's one of the longest standing current world records in the game.
I believe
Untouched for a
that's
very long time.
yeah, 2017, I think, 2018, something like that.
Yeah, a long time. All right, we're up to our favorite track, Baby Park.
No one likes this track.
Donations, donations.
Just as fun in Double Dash as it is in DS.
No, it's less fun here.
Yeah, less laps, same amount of
Less
items,
laps,
a lot of different
desaturated.
items. You don't really see the Bowser.
We're just
shells
gonna crap
anymore.
on this the entire time.
Yeah, we hate it. It's very boring. We get to see some shenanigans, though. It's a very fun part of the run if you're viewing. If you're playing, though, it's a different story.
Yeah, this is where I can kind of mention one of my nerd facts. This is also a place where the game... I'm not going to explain it. I don't have time for a university lecture, but the game basically can miscalculate your lap time, and people have completed runs that are literally faster, that are slower in-game time, thanks to how this track works.
Oh, the timer bug, you mean?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, no.
If you want to know more, just find me on Discord, and I'll, torture you for about half an hour.
We are doing private lectures after this run.
Yeah. So, this is Koopa Beach 2, a track that's pretty fun to PRB with Egg, not pretty fun to PRB with any other cart.
Absolutely. It is kind of a glorified circle. You can see we're just going around and around. We do a few right mini turbos, but we're going left most of the time, and we just want to PRB over these little patches of... What are these? Is this supposed to be like moss? It's not grass,
It's
right?
supposed to be, I guess, beach shrub stuff.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
seaweed stuff that washes up.
Seaweed.
It's
Oh.
weird. Unfortunate lightning, but still very good PRB. Another thing you'll see, we might not see it now because Abel's small, but we're going to jump to the left over here and just jump right in, and that actually has us go closer to the finish line, but crossing less distance, so it's a bit faster.
Yeah, the finish line extends out to the right into the water, so on lap 3 you always want to finish over there. So, Choco Mountain, unfortunately we don't have any weather tankos here, so we're going to be driving the whole track as usual.
Yes, unfortunately. But very fun track. A little bit technical too. Nothing really crazy. There's no boost panels, not a lot of hazards. It's mostly just pure driving. We got to watch out for these big chocolate rocks, but usually they don't get too much in the way.
Yeah, the cycles aren't
yeah.
usually very problematic for the boulders, so there's not much of a problem here.
Yeah, this is a track that has seen several exciting world record battles as well. Lots of interesting strats utilized over the years, which you can see in Abel's documentary, MKDS 2021.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite sequences.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun editing that. The Choco Mountain, we like to call it Choco Mountain Revolution of, I think it was August 2009. So, yeah, that was a pretty exciting period. Nothing too game-breaking. Oh my god, how did I even make that?
Look.
Very nice.
That was amazing.
It's just optimizing, driving the entire track, and I think it cut something like 1.5 seconds.
Yep,
This is also this track, I guess the last kind of bit of history is the current strat that is used for high-level play was actually found thanks to a TAS by Brazilian player Lakuki. You may have heard of him from Mario Brothers 1 and 2. But he actually had a start in this game and discovered the current world record strat, which we still use today, but even further optimized than he ever managed to. It's the nicest way I can mention that.
Yeah.
I don't think
that
we
was
want to
fine.
say any more about Cookie after.
Cookie's awesome, though.
Yeah.
great
I like
We love him
Cookie.
today.
Anyway, GBA Luigi circuits, one of the two Luigi circuits that are brought back to MKDS. With the Egg one here, though, sadly you cannot do a full 3 laps of PRB, purely because it's really, really difficult to navigate these corners and maintain the boost. So we're going to purposely lose PRB here and just play the track normally.
Yeah,
Yes,
we call
and-
it the maze.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing. Another very important thing to mention, if Abel can press Y or hit the touchscreen real quick, we're going to look at the mini-map, and as you can see, this is what we like to call the wet floor sign.
Yep, without the head.
Yeah, it just looks like a guy slipping. Very funny. Anyway, cool thing to note about this track. As of recently, since the Egg 1 is now used on Donut Plains 1. This track is now the only track where Dry Bomber holds the world record. Dry Bomber is considered one of the best controlling karts. It isn't the fastest, but has a lot of handling and can take a lot of turns really tight. So it's great for a track like this that has a lot of really tight corners where you have to keep PRB for a while. So
this is definitely a track where I would say that some of the best players in the game will show off their mastery of certain mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
or if
comes
you're
into
just
play.
a crazy guy from Canada.
Like
shouts to Canada.
Double hopping, really just honing the best lines you can. This is the track where you do that.
Yeah. Also, that bump off of Bowser, that was definitely faster.
We call that a Bowser boost in our world.
Yep. Alright, next we got Mushroom Bridge. This is from Double Dash. A bit of a simple track minus the cars, but still a lot of fun to drive.
Fortunately, you can't go onto the bridge at the end. You can't drive on the edges. They got rid of that. It's sad, but it's okay. No cool shortcuts at the moment, but definitely something. Definitely a battleground, at least in recent years. Taiga infamously is the first person to ever sub 69 seconds on this track.
Very impressive.
Very nice. I don't really have much to say about this.
Did you say Taiga subbed 69 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, 109.
Yeah, he got 108.
Oh, okay.
Now would be a good time to read the imaginary donations.
We have $1,000 from MK Dasher.
Oh my god, no way!
We have $240,000 from Elon Musk. Great job, Abel. Keep it up.
Love that guy.
All right. Moving on to the...
I think honestly, we should just start talking about Choco Island at the end of Mushroom Bridge.
Yeah. So speaking of Elon Musk, we have the worst track in the game. This is Choco Island 2. As you can see, we're already getting hit by the piranha plants.
Yeah, this is a track that is almost universally disliked by most players who are of a beginner or middle skill level at this game. It is only the crazy people at the top who seem to like this track. Mostly because they've unlocked the ability to just PRB around everything that sucks.
Yeah. As someone who has PRB'd this track, it's not easy.
Yeah, so this is one of the tracks that actually this is a track that earlier this year Abel was able to claim his first world record in almost 10 years thanks to discovering a new strat for the fast lap. And since then, I think it's really kind of kicked off the revolution of incredible world records this year.
Yep, absolutely. When we saw a new strat get discovered, we were freaking out because we really haven't seen like something like that in a while. But little did we know that was only the beginning of the year of. We don't have a name for the year yet because we're only halfway there, but a lot more in store for 2024 for Mario Kart DS. Anyway, we have Banshee Boardwalk now. We're gonna see a very special guest very, very soon if we just take one more turn, and it's Bubba!
So everybody in chat, we need to just say hello, Bubba, hi, Bubba, anything to address him.
Yes,
he really loves
Bubba
his fans.
if you are subscribed to Abel.
Yeah, he loves his fans. He always wants to show up every lap to say hi, and it's a fun thing kind of at the end of the run to just get to see his smiling face.
Yep, he always shows up at the end of the speedrun to cheer you on, motivate you to finish the run since you're so close. He actually does the same exact thing in mission mode as he also appears at the very end of the run.
Yep, just an unofficial mascot, I guess, of Abel's stream, but also
of
something.
MKDS.
Yeah, of MKDS in general, and this is also just a track that is, in general, kind of difficult to drive and not very well liked. Again, another track that's not very well liked thanks to its really narrow passageways and strict railings.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room for snaking here, especially on this last straightaway right here. You just have to be very careful, have very precise control as Abel does right here, and even then, you still hit a wall or two. So we're going to do one more lap here, but we're going to mention right now, the next track is Sky Garden, and we're not going to be talking very much during the... Oh, almost fed
Almost
Bubba
fed
right
him.
Anyway, we won't be talking very much for the beginning of Sky Garden because it is a very intense PRB track, and we're going to need a lot of focus because there's a shortcut that we can do that we can really only do with PRB, and we want to do it as many times as possible while we still have it. There's no PRB reset on Sky Garden, so it is a very high-pressure track, especially since it's the second to last one in the hour-long speed run.
I was going to mention before we let Abel focus is that unfortunately Bubba does not have a solid hitbox, so
unfortunately, yes,
you can't become one with him.
All right, here we go. Sky Garden. Gonna see some wonderful PRB right here. We're gonna go inside this vine, and then we're gonna go straight here, and then we're gonna do a mini turbo and jump over this gap right here, and that saves a good few seconds. And then we hopefully keep PRB, and the goal is to do that 2 more times over the course of the track. The current world record only does this once, but there's a lot of potential to cut it down if we can see it anymore, and it looks like we're going to see it one more time right here. Oh. Yes, absolutely. And we're looking to see 3 right now. Incredible.
I was like, wait a second, current world record? No, the current world record does this 3 for 3, obviously, but then I'm like, no, you're talking about...
No, it doesn't. Thankfully, you tuned into Games Done Quick Practice Edition. Oh! That was very nice.
Okay improvisation there.
Yeah,
that was excellent.
That's just kind of the skill set you're gonna need for 32 track runs, is just kind of making stuff up on the fly.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you never really see in time trials that you'll see in this run, but very well executed Sky Garden. Unfortunately, couldn't make it all 3 times, but we did the best we could.
Yep, we got our last track here, Yoshi Circuit. Kind of a lackluster finishing track in my opinion, but
I like this one.
It's not too bad. This is, for those wondering, this is the most item box dense track in the game, so definitely a little bit stressful at the end of a speed run, you know, if you're on really good pace, hoping that the CPUs don't get anything too aggressive. This is a track that I think, I don't know if some people in the audience know this, but it's actually shaped like Yoshi. I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, incredible.
Very, very, oh my god, look at that. Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah, if you put it side by side with Luigi Circuit 2, then it'll just be Yoshi staring at the man who did not look at the wet floor sign and proceeded to slip. He's staring very judgmentally.
Yeah, just... Okay, nothing I can do there, but what this category teaches you overall... Look at this, comboing.
That's what it teaches you, yeah.
It teaches you to always be on your toes, always be aware. It's not just about really front-running as best you can, and look at that luck. Got a nice room there. And you have to constantly be glancing at the bottom screen, especially on a track like, for example, on DK Pass. I know this is something I probably should have mentioned before, but if you're on DK Pass, for example, and you get a star from the... You know what, I don't even know why I'm talking about this now. We're about to hit time. Anyway, time.
And time! Look at that, 53:46. Very good for a live run.
Okay, so that's...
And then we'll say our goodbyes and give our shoutouts, and that will be our time at GDQ.
Okay, so that's 32 tracks. Yeah, first and foremost, thank you to Summer Games Done Quick for having us. It's a real privilege. And especially doing this for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, so please keep donating. So the Mario Kart DS community, since its inception in 2005, is still seeing new joiners regularly, both for time trials and for RTA categories like this one. If you want to learn more, visit the Mario Kart DS players page and join the Mario Kart DS Network Discord server. You can catch me streaming runs for this game every day on twitch.tv/Abel. And thanks so much, guys, for the co-commentary, Puddings and Mikey. Would you guys like to... Oh, we'll figure this out on the day, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Abel, for letting me commentate. It's always a lot of fun. Puddings just left, unfortunately, but it's always great to see live events like this and just bring everyone together, show some people how fun this game could be. And yeah, shouts to everyone in the Discord, and MKDS forever.
All right. Well, that's the first one out of the way. I think there's a lot to work on, but
yeah.
But yeah,
we'll definitely practice with time. Yeah. So Pudding's already left. She had to go.
I see.
But
Okay. So okay, yeah. So Pudding's have to go. Well, I'm probably gonna do more. I don't know what you want to do. If you wanna maybe do one together, or what plan you have.
Yeah, I can stay for a bit longer, probably for one more run. So,
Okay.
I don't think we should do like a whole nother practice run, but I can just like co-commentate the run, just like spitball some ideas.
If you want, if not, then it's fine. I think the one issue is that I know I'm focused on the run, but I think it's really about what's the word I'm looking for here? It's about evening out what each of us says, and I think
Yeah.
Puddings is very, very technical, so she can definitely focus on the very technical things. I think you provide like more color commentary, if anything. So I don't know, but so far, I mean, it can only get better from here. So
Yeah, of course. We'll definitely brainstorm some more ideas soon. Also, I noticed someone in chat said, "I wish we had commentary like this once a week. We could make this a regular thing." Yeah, if chat wants me to stay, I'll definitely stay for another run.
yeah, okay, I'm down for that as well, really. Let me just quickly drink this. Have you been time trialing anything recently?
Yeah, actually, just 2 days ago, I got my American records back on Waluigi Pinball.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Very
Congratulations! Yeah. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it took a while just because it's really hard to just stay consistent. I switched to egg per Marissa's recommendation. It's a lot less consistent, but definitely faster, especially if you could hit the bumper once you land. But yeah. I won't be time trialing as much in the next couple of weeks because I want to start practicing for the Wi-Fi tournament.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Who are you pairing up with? Is it Puddings?
Oh yeah, it is. I'm actually going to be partnering with Puddings this year.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot of fun, honestly.
It looks pretty stacked this year. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought last year was crazy, honestly.
Yeah, last year was pretty good, but I think this year there's like even more entrants, even more participants. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Piccolek said we already hit like more players than last year. And like we have a lot of the same returning pros. Like we have you and Stefan in doubles again. I'm pretty sure 2XXL and Kingu are returning for doubles. So still going to be incredibly stacked.
Yeah, and also I think Amamiya and Nine, I think they're paired up together.
Oh,
so
that's
going
to be an incredible
dangerous duo.
Yeah.
Yeah, one other thing I forgot to say. Thank you, chat, for being here during this practice session. I'll. Do you want to do another one in the end, or?
Yeah, I'd say I can do one more.
Okay. All right. I think we can like be a bit more loose here, less formal, and just talk about the tracks.
I
as much
was
as
thinking
possible.
like it could be less intensive for you if you're like still going for a world record run.
I'd like to talk a bit more, just so I can not have to butt in between you two and have to say things, but just practice and have stuff ready in case there's a bit of air to fill, if you know what I mean. So I guess I'll do that. So let's just do another one then. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is Figure 8 Circuit, first track of the Mushroom Cup, and the track where pretty much any new player hones their skill in snaking, a technique which involves repetitively mini turboing left to right on straights, as well as abusing mini turbos again on corners. And right now, as you can see, I'm doing something which is probably a bit peculiar to some, and I think I've just lost it. Yeah, I've lost it. Was another technique called prolonged rocket boost, which maintains the perfect rocket start and allows you to, so long as you're chaining mini turbos non-stop, cut the off-road without losing any speed. But anyway, yeah, this is kind of like the snaking with training wheels kind of track. And one other thing that I will mention is that it's a very RNG heavy category. You have to manage your items very well, cycle them accordingly. Like for example, if you get a fake item box and you're approaching the third lap, it's probably best to let go of it on the third lap so it's not in the way. And that was a blue shell. A lot of stuff happens already. This is the issue with this category. There's too much to explain in such little time.
Yeah, there's so much to explain right away, and then like towards the end of the run, there's not much to say at all because a lot of the time, not much is happening.
Yeah. Which is why I guess we should be as light-hearted and as not light. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Like just be as relaxed about it as possible.
Yeah.
And also
we gotta turn it
balance.
into comedy night.
Yeah. So again, I'm probably going to have to get rid of this by flinging it in the distance. Like, wow, that was the worst possible.
Oh, that was awful.
Anyway, you were going to say something?
That's the hard part about front running, is managing your items. Usually, if you just have a banana, you're fine. You can hold on to it until you have red shell that's about to hit you. But if you ever get a fake item box, you're going to have to throw it forward. Thankfully, it looks like one of the CPUs took it out for us. And another important thing we got to get out of the way. We're using dry bones on the Egg 1. So the Egg 1 is considered one of the greatest carts in the entire game. It has decent speed, very good control, and it has very long mini turbos, which is how we stay at a very high speed for pretty much the entire run. And we're using dry bones because every character, they only really have two stats that affect the game. It's weight and off-road. So it's kind of like it's like a line between weight and off-road. Dry Bones is the lightest, but goes the fastest on off-road, and then there's Bowser, who's the heaviest and goes the slowest on off-road. So we stick with Dry Bones because we don't really need that much weight. We're already on the lightest combo in the game, but we want to like make use of that off-road speed so we can go as fast as possible all the time. It's also important to mention that this is the lightest combo in the game, which means we very easily get bumped around. I also noticed we have some very unlucky CPUs here. When you start a new run, the CPUs or the characters that you race with are random, and sometimes you won't really have to deal with a lot of the heavy characters. Sometimes in this case we have Bowser on his heaviest cart, we have Donkey Kong, and we have Wario on his big old tractor. But usually you don't have to deal with it too much like right now, but once you get to the end of the race and you start lapping the CPUs, that's when you might run into someone and you might get bumped around.
Yes, and
like Waluigi right here.
Oh yes, that's the one thing that I was mentioning in the other run, is that you will catch the tail end of the CPUs if you're on a really good pace. That is really the only issue with going fast in this category. And they will get in the way of your line. One of them will be holding a banana or a green shell behind, so it can be quite lethal. And moving on to Luigi's Mansion, based off the launch title for the Nintendo GameCube. It's a great track, I feel, and one which had a glitch shortcut discovered on it. Oh, DK, don't do that to me.
Unfortunate. Yeah, a new shortcut was discovered over here where just where those stairs are, you can actually do a jump, you'll bounce around a bit, and then you can do a frame-perfect hop against the wall, and you'll jump over, you'll go through a floor, and then you'll land down where the mansion section ends. That saves about a couple seconds. Very cool to see, very difficult. It's only been performed by 3 people now, including Puddings, who isn't here right now. But unfortunately, she did it in a way that was much slower.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught the action on lap 1, but at least 4 players got completely taken out by this bomb.
Oh, jeez. I barely saw that. Wow.
Yeah, if you go back in the VOD, you'll see there's like at least 4 or 5 players that just perished instantly.
Wow, wow.
But yeah, this is the second track in the run so far where you'll see cycles, other than Cheap Cheap Beach's water cycle. You'll see this with the trees here. It doesn't affect you as much as other tracks, like for example on TikTok Clock, which we'll see in 2 Cups time, the pendulum and the cogwheels can really affect your pace. But anyway, just ending the Mushroom Cup now.
Yeah, besides items, there isn't really much RNG in this run. Most of the hazards on the tracks are just on a cycle, which means if you're going at the right speed and you don't lose a lot of time, you'll pretty much know when a lot of the hazards will get in your way. All right, next we got Desert Hills, and we're going to see some PRB right at the start, and we're going to go right next to the pyramid and save a lot of time.
But unfortunately, that can happen. And I can see that happening live, but hopefully it won't.
Yeah, it's okay. The heat got to him. It's fine.
Yeah. Know what else could be? Oh yeah, the tool-assisted run of this recently was done, which involves retaining the PRB for all 3 laps. So do check that out on Meta Rota's YouTube channel. Super cool run. Probably one of the best tool-assisted runs I've ever seen for this game. Now the problem with going or with losing that PRB at the beginning is that some of the pokies are on awkward angles here, so you have to dodge them.
Yep, and I actually just received a message from the Ghost of Puddings who wanted me to tell everyone that this is the only track in the game where the skybox is rotating clockwise, and every other track apparently it rotates counterclockwise, which means that this track must be on an opposite hemisphere from the rest, which means it's canonically very far away. So take that for what you will. Anyway, we're just about to finish. Just gotta watch out for Waluigi, and beautiful. You're on your, like, average splits, right?
Yes, I am. 53-28.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's Puddings. Okay, so Delfino Square. I know you have quite a bit to mention here, but I'd like to start off by saying that previous GDQ runner, Kevridge, would call the Piantos the Delfinos, and I found that to be one of the funniest things in the world. So yeah, track based off Super Mario Sunshine. You race through the town section, and I'm going to showcase the dock shortcuts instead of doing the mud shortcut this lap, which is slightly faster, saves around 1 second, I think, or half a second, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, not too much, but definitely worth going for. Not too difficult, but generally not done too much during live streams like this, because stuff like that can happen, and you get a bad respawn. But we usually go for it as much as we can, and that we can also go through the mud right there, and we can do it without a mushroom, and it's faster than not going for it, but still slower than just getting the dock jump, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, also worth mentioning, this is my favorite track. I just love the atmosphere. I love how it plays. Just a very beautiful looking track for this game.
Yeah.
And we're going to see hopefully one more dock cut right here. No, we're not. Alright. Just going to go through the mud, I believe. No,
none.
I'm very bad at predicting.
Neither, yeah. No, I just had my brain completely turned off there.
No, it's all good.
At least we
again,
showed off.
Doesn't lose too much time.
But yeah, this track got brought back in MKWii with good reason. It's a very good track, and the world record for that game is also pretty cool. It does.
It jumps over the dock and then
gets, like a
shortcut.
Mud cut dock jump hybrid. I just realized I didn't even.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll do it in the live run. We'll talk about it. So Abel failed his task of getting mushrooms because he was going to show off the brand new shortcut that was discovered here a few months ago. Definitely the most popular of the few new shortcuts that were discovered earlier this year. This one saves about 8 seconds. It is incredibly fast. It's been performed by a little less than 30 people now. Still an incredible thing to see, especially so late into the game's life. But yeah, besides that, it was a very fun track. Definitely a fan favorite. People love this one. It's very fun to drive. The pinball section can definitely be very challenging, especially if you're not in the right cycle and you don't know where to go. But we can also get a speed boost by hopping off the bumpers. It's very cool. But yeah, we just drive pretty carefully around here. Not carefully there, but you know. We avoid that pinball, and then we're gonna go right here, and then ooh, very close.
I think you guys, one of you needs to prompt me as the
We
course
will,
is
we will.
being because I'm knowing that like however many like tens of thousands of people are going to be watching, I'll just forget, like my brain will just turn off. So yeah, anyway.
We'll make sure to bother you and remind you of like everything
Yes,
we need
please,
to do.
please, yes. But as much as I like the shortcut here, it's overshadowing
It's
how
stupid.
nice of a track this is to race without it. You know, I really enjoy this.
Yeah. Yeah, the shortcut skips pretty much this entire pinball section, which definitely has its quirks in this game. It's very challenging to some players if you don't know where the pinballs are. It's also very precise to get the bounces off of the bumpers, but you know, at expert level, it's a very, very fun track.
Kartu says you should explain why you dodge Rob. I mean, there's no. I wouldn't say Rob is a. Hold on.
Is Rob even in this run? I don't see him.
No, but I mean, I have a specific bias against Rob, and that's because, from experience, he will cause the most damage to me personally. So I just try and avoid having him in the GP.
Yeah, Rob is very fast. He has a lot of the fastest carts in the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got Shroom Ridge now. Very cool track. I really like this one. There's a very big patch of grass at the beginning. You can PRB through it, but it's very, very difficult. Only a few people have executed it. But besides that, it's a bit of a simplistic track. It is a car track. We see a lot of cars right here, and we just have to narrowly avoid them. It gets very hard on an expert level because you gotta like carefully weave inside some of the cars. On this section right here, which is very twisty, sometimes there's a blue car right there that you have to very carefully go inside of without hitting it.
So yeah, we'll be seeing one or two more cycle-based tracks with actually one more Mushroom Bridge later on, where you have to go in between cars.
Like that one, yep.
Exactly. The cycles aren't quite the same like in Time Trial, since you'll be using the mushroom. Well, actually, no. What am I saying? Never mind.
Nice. Didn't hit the
got
car.
that right.
That's nice.
And right here, I'll be doing this slightly.
Yes.
I think it's slightly faster, but I might be wrong. You get it. Like
Either way, it looks cool, so that's all that matters.
Exactly. Yes. So. DK Pass, first track of the Star Cup. This was
tracks get a bit harder from here, but we're at one of the finest tourist attractions for Mario Kart DS. We're gonna climb up. Never mind, we're going down. No resetting, Abel. Remember. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna climb up this mountain, and then we're gonna reach the very top of the round right here. And if we reach the summit, we'll be rewarded with this item box, and this is a very special item box. So you can see we got a star. This item box can only give you stars, mushrooms, and if you're really, really unlucky, you'll get a red shell. But that's only a 1 in 200 chance. But yeah, very fun little Easter egg right there. It's very useful for the speedrun. You can hold on to the star, and you could either, say, go through some off-road, save a lot of time, or if you have really good reflexes, you could use it to avoid a lightning. So you could just save an instant 5 seconds right there. We're going to hold on to it for a little bit, it looks like. But, yeah, besides that, very, very interesting track. It's one of the bumpier ones. A lot of beginners really don't like this track, but Abel is, as you can see, very skilled at it. There's a lot of technique used to navigate it very quickly, especially getting around these huge bumps in the road. I like to say that this track suffers from what I call polygon deficiency. Very low poly, so very bumpy.
So what I'm doing for this entire time is keeping an eye out on the bottom place players in case they get a lightning, so I can quickly tap onto my L button or X, whatever you use, and try and dodge it.
X. Alright, unfortunately nothing, but I'll wait.
Whoa,
what's everyone doing here?
Quite laggy. Yeah, my console actually just lagged there.
Yeah, I saw there was like 5 CPUs on screen. That's incredible.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Very nice DK pass run.
Yeah, it was given I fell down at the beginning, it wasn't so bad.
Ah, right. Alright, next up is Tick Tock Clock. This one is very inspired by Super Mario 64. And as you can see, there's this big pendulum coming up right here. There might be a way to manipulate RNG and have that pendulum move faster and faster until it crashes the game. Wait, that's only possible in Mario 64? Alright, anyway, very cool track. A lot of cycles to deal with, like the clock hands right here, as well as the spinning cogs, which, he didn't do it right there, but you can get a mini turbo off, and then it launches you forward and makes you go really, really fast. But yeah, right here, if the clock hands aren't in your way, you can just kind of go through the middle. It's actually faster than hitting those boost panels. And then we're going to carefully avoid the pendulum right there. Yeah, very precise technical track, very fun though. There's actually a shortcut right here too. If you go to the left against where the arrows are going, you can actually jump to where these cogs are and then do a respawn shortcut, which saves a tiny bit of time. It's incredibly hard though. Only one person has ever done it, and it's barely even faster. So we pretty much ignore it, but it is a cool little thing to see.
You ignore it unless you're playing 300cc, which
exactly.
It's quite fun to actually do in that category.
Yep.
Which maybe one day we'll see at a GDQ.
Didn't you do it once at
I did, yes. Yes, hotfix, I remember now.
Yeah,
I almost
hotfix.
forgot about that.
That was when we yeah, it was the other runner canceled, so we had plenty of extra time. Oh, very nice dodge. Looked very cool.
Good timing. Yeah, some of the blue shell dodges can look really, really cool if the timing is such that you release the mini turbo and hop out of the way as you're going uphill on a ramp or something, just for the extra dramatic effect.
Yeah, the action movie scene.
Exactly. Okay, you're meant to do some prolonged rocket boosting here, but sadly I missed a mini turbo and it ran out, so we're gonna race this track normally.
Now thankfully there's another way to save time on this track. There's a little shortcut you could do right here where you jump over the wall, and we're gonna see Abel go for it right now. And nailed it. Perfect. Hit the wall right after, but still definitely faster. Yeah, so Abel has a bit of a moral opposition to that shortcut, but definitely cool to see in the run at least once. Good fib throw right there too. So now we're just going to drive the rest of the track as normal. Maybe see the wall cut one more time if Abel is feeling extra sacrilegious.
I'll definitely attempt it again. I feel like I need to get some practice in for it. Oh.
Almost.
I feel like I'm getting the angle right.
The unfortunate thing about this shortcut is if you fail it, then you're going to lose a bit of time because you got to go all the way around the wall.
Yeah.
But definitely very well worth it if you're consistent with it.
Another blue shell dodge.
Nice dodge right there.
Blue shell dodges are actually... People are often gobsmacked at like how blue shell dodges are performed, but they're really not as difficult as people think. It really is just
it's one of the easier things in this game, honestly.
Yeah, people think like, oh my god, is that a 1 frame or a 2 frame timing? It's like, no, it's quite easy. It's quite easy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just about learning the timing a little bit and just releasing the mini turbo and hopping away. Anyway, Airshaped Fortress track based off of Super Mario Brothers 3, I believe, and I think you described this last time, so I'm more than happy to let you talk about it if you want.
Yep, so there was actually very recently a new shortcut discovered on this track as well. It's only been performed in Tool Assist, not by any people yet. It's also, we don't know if it's faster at all because we have to wait for a cycle as well as go forward a bit, hit a checkpoint, then reverse again. But it is still a very cool thing to see. It's coming up once we get back into the airship. But yeah, besides that, very cool track. We're going to avoid some of these bullet bills and then just carefully weave around this turn. But right here, you'll see these rocky wrenches with their manholes. What we can do is we can actually bounce off a few of them and then do a frame perfect hop and jump through the floor here and land right about where Abel is now, which would save a few seconds if done regularly in a full run. But because of the way it's executed, where you have to wait a while for the cycles, It's slower, but still very cool to see, and you'll never know if there's a way to do it faster that's discovered in the next year. Given how much has been discovered this year for Mario Kart DS, I think it's very possible, and I'd love to see it.
You can never rule anything out. Like, never in my wildest dreams did I think that Waluigi Pinball would have this shortcut that would cut, like, what, 20 seconds? It's 20 seconds now that it's cut, which is
20
ridiculous.
seconds total. Yeah, the world record went from about 155 to now 135, which is just insane.
Yeah, just over 20 seconds. Incredible.
Yeah, and with the Rob LGS, who would have thought?
Yeah. Okay, so that's the Star Cup done. Moving on to the Special Cup. Wario Stadium's the first track. They call it Special Cup for a reason, as we all know in the chat. But
It's very special.
okay, Wario Stadium. One of my favorite tracks on 150 and 100cc, by far. You can make use of PRB, going around the mountainous, what do you call them, mountainous parts? Like these uphill things.
These ramps, and you could avoid them and go through the mud, which is actually faster than going through the jumps if you keep PRB.
Exactly. And I'll be performing the first Lucky 2 out of bounds shortcut, which involves bouncing off of the second hill there, and I completely fail it, which is very, very weird.
And then we're not getting into it. Also, we're going to have to go to the road less traveled. You can actually, if you're very precise with your hop, you can jump over all those little bumps that you saw right there. That's a bit faster. I believe we call that the K-Mac Hill Clear Supreme.
Oh yeah, much harder to do with the Egg 1 carts because of its lower speed stats. But it's possible.
Yep. Yeah, very, very cool to see. But we'd rather just do PRB and some crazy shortcuts. Also very nice and faster. But yeah, very, very fun track to drive, in my opinion.
Let's see if I can get it second try. No, I went too far to the left there. I knew I was going to bonk there.
Alright. Still cleared most of the hills, though. That was pretty fast. Let me see the notes. Is there anything else to say on this track? Yeah, Wario approves. That's about it. I think we
Wario
actually got
approved.
a donation from Wario. We actually got a donation from Wario earlier. Yeah. Wario, he really cares about the kids, you know? I don't have much else to say here. Again, this would be the time where we just get some donations.
Yeah, absolutely. One second.
Yeah, I apologize for the lack of German commentary. I'm not able to provide, but we'll definitely get a little bit more once Puddings is back.
Okay, this should be a successful attempt. Yeah, we got a shock dodge, which is quite rare for these types of runs.
Yeah, not a lot of opportunity to dodge them besides getting a respawn or having time in a cannon. Next up is Peach Gardens, and Peach has a very big garden. We're gonna jump through this flower patch right here, which is much faster than just going all the way around. We're gonna go through the corner of there as well. And now we're in the Chain Chomp Garden. We're gonna carefully weave around. It's actually very hard to navigate for less experienced players. And we carefully do some technique here and make sure not to hit anything. Very fast slap, minus that mini turbo right there. We're going to throw this fake item box, and that's not in the way. That's pretty good. Yeah, Abel's actually going to receive a grade based on how well he throws all these item boxes at the end. He lost some points for Yoshi Falls earlier, but overall I'd say he's doing pretty good right now. Ooh, unfortunate. Very close to hitting the wall before.
Okay. Yeah, there's really not much to say about this track, so a lot of it will just be donation
cool
reading, really.
Not too much going on, yeah. Unless people wants to go for PRB during the actual run.
I think that'll be really risky, and I can mention the reason as to why. If you try and get an angle to get the PRB MTs, you risk colliding with the CPUs. Ow. Much like colliding, well, not quite like colliding against the Chain Chomp, but basically you risk that, and hold on. So yeah, you risk that, and you could fall into the water. You could get pushed in. So that's why I try not to, just to be safer.
Yeah.
Plus,
Oh, one second.
even if you, okay, I'll carry on talking. But yeah, even if you
I'm back.
were to, yeah, even if, I was just saying, even if you were to PRB on Peach Gardens, and you had a really godlike pace, being that fast might land you into trouble with the chain chomp cycle that you're on. So maybe it's just best to keep a non-PRB cycle, if that makes sense. And that's the second time that's
Very
happened.
nice. Yeah, so there's a little bit experimental, but Abel actually might be trying to find a new shortcut live during the run. Hasn't quite gotten it yet, but we still think it's possible. Anyway, we're up to Bowser Castle. This is the second to last track in the Nitro track category. This one's very difficult. A lot of tight corners to navigate, like right here. And we're going to see this very narrow bridge we have to come across. And you'll see later, or as you saw before, we have the big spinning bridge, which, we're going for a little dip right here.
I don't even mind if that happens. I think that actually happened at ESA, so...
Yeah, sometimes you get very unlucky with cool shells.
Yeah.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, it's very hard to keep control and get more mini turbos while you're on the spinning bridge, but top players make it work.
Yes, and also interesting to note that the spinning cylinder or that spinning bridge has a different pace or a different cycle for each lap, also depending on your pace. So the world record goes so quickly that you can almost not differentiate the cycles for each lap. Like the one on lap 2 at Tiger's pace almost looks the same as lap 1. Last I watched it. Don't even know why.
Incredibly fast round. Unfortunate. No resetting. Yes, this track's very hard to... It's kind of like an endurance track, because not only do you have to drive very precisely for 3 laps, but it's very long, which means you have to keep your composure for a very long time, which, unfortunate we didn't make the respawn cut.
And so we get to
not a
do
lot
this
going
one
well.
here instead.
Yeah, there we go.
As a small backup.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right in saying it is pretty much purely an endurance track mixed with a lot of technique and just keeping your focus. This was one where you can't lose your shit, even though I can't say that word probably on the broadcast. But
can lose our poop.
Yeah, lose our cool. So yeah, Rainbow Road, another track where you get to see out of bounds shortcuts. I'm gonna actually play it safe here and not turn around after the third.
We'll see it again lap 2 though. Oh,
this is happening so often. Anyway,
just had to return to Earth real quick. I think Abel forgot his phone. All right. Anyway, we're back. The unfortunate thing about Rainbow Road is if you fall off, you're a lot closer to the CPUs, which means it's much harder to attempt the shortcuts because you have to turn around for both shortcuts, which means you get a lot closer to the CPUs, and there's a big risk that the CPUs might hit you and ruin your line because if they as much as touch you once, then you're not making the shortcut.
And we got it again.
Oh my goodness, that's 2 for 2 today. Wow.
I guess this is viable now, RTA.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
We better see it happen in GDQ.
Yeah.
Very nice lap.
It's already quite promising, but yeah, Rainbow Road, very very heavy on the RNG. Very difficult to dodge that blue shell. There are several instances throughout the whole run where it is going to become impossible to dodge certain items. So not just blues but also reds and stuff.
Yeah, red shells can be very hard to avoid sometimes.
Yeah, this the category as a whole can be very relentless and unforgiving.
Absolutely, that's just Mario Kart in general, I think.
I failed that completely.
We hit the pipe too.
Yeah. I accelerated too quickly. I should have taken my time there, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that one shortcut we see before the skipping the spiral or skipping the loop-de-loop, that saves a massive amount of time. So we kind of made up for it even after we fell off. And that concludes the Nitro tracks. From now, we're going to see the Retro tracks, which are tracks from old Mario Kart games, starting with Mario Circuit 1, which was the very first track in all of Mario Kart, starting on the Super Nintendo back in 1992, right?
Yes, that's
Yes.
correct. So, yeah, this is the PRB sandbox. So Figure 8 Circuit was the one for snaking, and this is the one where you, for the most part, practice PRB. It's nice and flat, it's short, and it has a big off-road terrain right here, the one we've just crossed. And yeah, essentially training wheels for prolonged rocket boost practice.
Yeah,
Complete
very
the
fun to
track.
drive. Once you get better and you start learning PRB, you can cut through like these massive patches of dirt. And if you're really good, you could finish the whole track in less than 40 seconds.
Exactly. Now, first track of the N64 Moo Moo Farm. One thing we can all thank the devs for is not making the molds RNG like the N64 version has. So I feel really bad for them.
Yep, so the Monty here, they're on a cycle. So you can kind of predict where they're going to be if you know like when you're approaching them. Yeah, there isn't too much to say about this track. It's very simple. Again, it's very low poly. It's very bumpy. A lot of players don't really like this track because it's just very hard to navigate these tight turns right here. Because you can see we're on like an angle this entire time as we're snaking through, trying to take it as tight as possible. But still a very cool track. Definitely, I call it a classic. We also have a lot of cows here. Everyone in chat, please say hello to the cows. Not the Monty Moles, though. They don't deserve it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so this is a pretty quick track as well. Usually it's a little bit over a minute. We're going to clock in at about 1:08 right here. Very nice. So yeah, the next track we have is GBA Peach Circuit. I believe the Ghost of Puddings is trying to contact me once again. This is Pudding's favorite track by far. She prefers this track a lot on non-PRB, but I personally still think it's very fun to PRB, as are most tracks. So we're just going to cut these little patches of grass. PRB doesn't save a massive amount of time here, but still definitely faster and very fun to do. One thing time trialers like to do at the beginning is hit the tree right there and then clip it so we get a really tight turn. That sets us up for the rest of the run, but we don't really see that here. We just see some kind of regular driving and PRB. We lost it right here, but thankfully we can still drive the rest of the track without PRB pretty smoothly and doesn't lose too much time compared to PRB. Very carefully avoiding the big CPUs right here.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, I definitely like this track on non-PRB a bit more than doing PRB. Especially for 150, but for 100 it's I definitely prefer it on PRB. Anyway, moving on to GCN Luigi Circuit. This is a track where you employ the PRB restart or PRB reset. I don't even know what we like officially call it, if it's a reset or a restart. But basically you can recover the PRB state by mini-turboing off the boost panels at the start of and the midway point of the lap. And yeah, you can cut the off-road sections, just narrowly avoiding the chain chomp as well. And another issue with this track, sadly, in a speedrun setting, is that the CPUs are going to be coming at you in the opposite traffic lane, and it might get a bit awkward. You might get a few blue shells, red shells in your face. See, that's an example there, yeah.
Thankfully, didn't hit us in the face, but still, even if we had a banana, there was a slim chance we'd be dodging that one.
Yeah. So yeah, sadly, the RNG is very, very hectic in this track in particular. And at times... look at this.
Oh my god.
And look at that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just one other thing to mention, and I completely forgot. Never mind. You were going to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how come we only mention PRB reset on this track, but we don't say it on Wario Stadium?
Because I don't know. We just don't. But it'll get better with a bit more practice. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's literally. The
next
first
we got
session.
Donut Plains 1. Is another PRB heavy track. We're gonna go through the shortcut right here. You don't really see that on time trials though. Typically, we use the dry bomber, which is a little bit slower than the egg one, but controls much better. Can take a lot tighter turns, and if you use dry bomber in PRB, it's actually slower to go through this intended shortcut right here. We usually just ignore it and then go through the rest of the track as normal. But yeah, very fun track to PRB. It's a little bit, I guess you could say, loose with the egg one, since you have to take these turns very carefully, but they're pretty sharp a lot of the time. But yeah, excellent PRB here. Looks like we're going to see it for the entire duration of the track.
Oh.
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
close. Okay.
It actually would have been a very good time. I remember what I was going to say on the previous track, and it's that this speedrun, the speedrun has you thinking all the time in terms of how are the items coming towards me? How do I have to position my cart? So for example, like the red shell AI is very, very difficult to read at times. It can depend on the angle you're coming from, the track you're on, and so on. So a lot of times, for example, on Luigi circuit, you gotta like string together. Dude, it's actually kind of difficult to explain. Like you have to manipulate the red shell into. Fuck, I'm just gonna give up explaining.
Into your line. Yeah, to put it simply, sometimes you want to stop snaking to make sure that the red shell doesn't follow you in a way where it hits you on the side. If you just stop snaking for a bit and move straight, then the red shell is a lot more likely to just hit you from the back, which is where you'll have your protective item, like a banana, and you'll be able to avoid it that way. Also, that was a very cool blue shell dodge.
I didn't think I was going to dodge that because I was in the off-road, but I seem to get enough error. Yeah, man. Playing this game and like trying to be technical about it is so insanely difficult. My brain was just melting there when I was trying to explain like how to angle your car and dodge the reds, and yeah.
That's why me and Puddings are going to be here at GDQ. We leave the commentating to the commentators. But yeah, it's a bit of a technical track. We're going to see we go through the snow a little bit sometimes. We also drive the entire track, unlike Mario Kart 64, where we just kind of jump in the snow and skip the lap. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay, so that's Frappe Snowland. Excuse me. I'm still recovering from this cold or whatever it is that I've caught.
Right.
After Bowser Castle 2, another track from Mario Kart Super Circuit. A very, very underrated Mario Kart game, I think.
A lot of fun.
It's I don't even know how to talk about this track, to be fair, other than like there's a ghetto skip here. Oh yeah, so you get to this section here, you skip the boost panel by riding on the ledge, and we call that Zighetto, kind of like an SM64 equivalent for when you do the Siglemic jump, if anybody watches Mario 64 speedruns.
Right.
But yeah, relatively simple track, I would say. I don't think it's anything too special in terms of like a Bowser Castle. Like the Bowser Castle tracks that I grew up with are more like, how do I say, like more grandiose, more like changes in elevation changes and things like this. Like this Bowser Castle is very, very... Oh my god, this is... How do I have two blues in succession, like, quickly?
We might see a third one.
That's complete the hat trick. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really have much to say about this track, to be fair. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're running out of fuel here for the commentary.
Challenge.
Feel free to yeah.
No, I was gonna say
Feel
challenge.
free to
Run out. No, sorry, man. I'm not even thinking.
You're good. Take your time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, chat, if you have any good jokes that you'd like to see during the GDQ run, feel free to submit them either in chat or through my DMs or through Abel's Discord.
Yeah, sure, we can take
Yeah,
requests, I guess.
yeah. I'll even give you a shout out for the joke. Anyway, speaking of jokes, we got the greatest joke of all time right here, Baby Park. And, this track is very funny. It's flat, it's short, it's simple, and there's a lot of items. Oh, that's 3 green shells I just saw on the bottom screen. We're just going to drive very carefully, try our best not to hit anything, as we get hit by a blooper, a blue steals our green shell, and we get bumped by Wario. But, still persevering very well. Didn't actually get hit by any items just yet. Unfortunately, got a blue shell coming up very quickly, and very nice dodge. And it looks like we're going to make it through this game of Baby Park unscathed. Very
Actually,
nice.
a pretty decent race, all things considered. One other thing I'd like to say is that I believe this track took what used to be GCN Mario Circuit's slot, because that track was going to be in the game as it appears in the beta files or the kiosk demo for Mario Kart DS.
Yep.
So a huge unspoken tragedy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how everyone feels about that one. Next we have Koopa Beach 2. A bit of a simplistic track. It's kind of a glorified circle, but we're going to do some pretty cool PRB right here through these green circle things. It's definitely not grass. It might just be like seaweed and stuff that washes up, I'm sure. We don't really know. Anyway, yeah, on PRB, it's pretty fun, but at lower levels, it's pretty difficult to avoid all the little patches of water that you see over there. Also, we're going to do a pretty cool shortcut right here. So we actually hit the finish line as we fell into the water, since it extends outward, and if you hit it all the way to the right, then you're actually closer to it, and you have to travel less distance to get it. So that saves a little bit of time. Yep. Next up, Choco Mountain. One of the longer tracks, but still very fun. For the most part, there's not too much going on. Just some pretty narrow straights right here, some curvy turns, and then there's going to be a section where we have to avoid some rocks. But besides that, not too much going on. There hasn't been a shortcut discovered here yet, but who knows, we might find something just like Mario Kart 64, where we just get to jump over a wall and then skip the entire track. Unfortunately, nothing just yet.
No weather, Tenko. People leave. People leave.
Oh no. Guys, come back. We have chocolate rocks. It's fun, I promise. Let's see. What else is in the notes? I think we wanted to shout out like Cookie right here too.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely can do that. I think Puddings is probably the best at explaining that.
Yeah, the Ghost of Puddings wanted me to tell you guys that Cookie deserves a shout out right here.
In the most positive manner possible.
Yes, absolutely. Very good player.
Yeah, he really is like top tier.
He's incredible. Yeah, still not much to say here. Do we have any good jokes in chat? Let's see. Take a Nintendo DS, put an eye on it. Congratulations, you now have a DSi. Shout out to Kinder Parrot for that one.
As soon as you read that, I already knew it was Kinder Parrot. So yeah, world record here uses Rob BLS for anybody wondering. A vehicle that has a very big hitbox, very difficult to maneuver.
Yes.
In these, is that a second lightning, or am I hallucinating? Anyway,
That might have been, yeah. No reset, remember. I feel like we should give like a really big punishment for if you like accidentally reset during the run.
like what punishment?
I don't know, maybe you have to eat the DS after the run.
I'm kind of regretting already accepting to have the webcam on.
Anyway, next we have GBA Luigi Circuit. This is actually the second Luigi Circuit in the retro tracks. We usually refer to this as just Luigi Circuit 2. So this is now the only track in the game where Dry Bomber has the world record in the PRB category. And Dry Bomber is kind of the only kart that can PRB here, because with Egg 1, the corners are just too tight to maneuver and keep PRB. So we usually intentionally lose it just to go around the corners tighter. Still pretty fast without PRB. Yeah, so again, a bit of a simplistic track, but also bit of a funny trick here. If you go ahead and press the Y button or touch the touchscreen, we'll see the mini map. We have what we call the wet floor sign. Looks like a guy slipping, falling down, and he lost his head. So, you know, this is just a public service announcement. Be careful around wet floor signs. If you see there's a spill, make sure you clean it up, put up a sign. Otherwise, you'll end up like this guy.
I see a dog stretching.
Ah, yes, also the dog stretching.
Yeah. I see a dog stretching more than a guy slipping, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Very weird looking dog, honestly. But, you know, take it for what you will. Use your imagination. Besides that, not too much going on this track. Very fun to drive, though, in my opinion.
Okay, we just got outside of the off-road there in order to dodge the blue. Remember, you can't... Well, this is something that wasn't even mentioned. You cannot dodge the blue shells if you're on the off-road because you just don't have enough speed to escape the impact zone.
Yep.
I mean, unless you've got PRB active. But, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we got Mushroom Bridge. Bit of a simplistic track, but we once again are going to see the car cycles. They took quite a bit out of this track once they ported it over here. Hold on, where's those? Yep. So you used to be able to drive on top of the bridge right here, but you can't really do that anymore. They also got rid of the mushroom cars that give you free mushrooms, and there's also like a little sidewalk over here that you could drive on for no reason. It wasn't even faster, but it was cool to see they got rid of it. There was also a pipe that you could go through that we can get like an extra item box. So, you know, a lot more simplistic in this game, but just lets you focus on the driving all that much. Yeah, not too much going on, but still a very fun track.
Just thought I'd mention that at any point you have to really be aware to not focus solely on... I mean, as much as you have to front run in this game as hard as possible, you do have to be as strategic as possible as well by... Oh, this is awkward with these three. You have to latch onto it. Wow. You have to latch on to as many item boxes as you can in order to protect yourself from any incoming reds. No matter how far away you are, or just... They will hunt you down, even if you're on lap 3.
Yep, absolutely.
So you do need as many greens and bananas as possible.
Alright, last up we have the Lightning Cup. It's the last cup of the retro tracks. First we have Choco Island 2. I actually hate this track. This is the part where Puddings commentates instead. Unfortunately, she's not here right now, so I guess I'll take care of it. Thankfully, we have some PRB right here. PRB is pretty hard to do on this track, actually. It's very slippery. There's a lot of hazards. There's all these little bumps right here, which... I don't know what they were thinking, but those are definitely hazards. They slow you down. You don't want to hit them. Very difficult track all in all. Most people don't like this one. Oh my god, crazy bump. Still does the blue shell though. That was very nice.
Oh, that was actually quite fast. Had I not had the blue shell there, it had a gold potential, in my opinion. But that's fine.
Alright, so next we have Banshee Boardwalk. We're going to have 3 more tracks. So, this is a very difficult one, usually very narrow. But thankfully we have a special guest coming up right here, and it's Bubba the Fish. Bubba is here to cheer you on during the run as it's about to finish. He also does this in the mission mode run. Very friendly guy, we all love him. He's a fan favorite for us. We have everyone say hi Bubba once he's here, and we also have the MKDS Bubba emote if you're subscribed to Abel. And yeah, honestly not too much to say about this track. It's just very narrow, very difficult. As you can see, Abel already fell off. He's still trying to reset. Thankfully, we're not letting him do that. I should come up with a joke where
I have this electric thing strapped onto me. Every time I press start, I get zapped.
I was gonna say, we probably can't make a joke like that. I can't say like you have a gun to your head, but I'll think of something funny.
So yeah, underrated track, I feel like. I mean, it's very, very difficult to race at high level. Hold on a second.
Nice.
Yeah, very difficult to race.
Hard
to... at high level with the Rob BLS.
It's especially hard to dodge the blue shell. Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I was just going to say that I really enjoy racing this track with Egg 1. But a lot of people don't seem to share that opinion with me, so...
Yeah. And I was just going to say, it's especially hard to dodge these blue shells when you're on such a narrow road, because you don't have a lot of space to operate, and if you like deviate too much from your line, then you'll very easily fall into the water like we saw before.
Exactly.
We have one more blue shell coming up, and then that'll be the run. Oh, also, we should mention now before it's too late. Next track is Sky Garden. We're not going to talk much for that track because it's very intense. It uses PRB to do an exclusive shortcut, so we want to make sure Abel can focus as much as he can and try to make the shortcut all 3 laps.
Let's go for it. Thank you for the follow, by the way.
Thank you. All right, here we go, Sky Garden. Very nice so far. Got one so far. We use PRB to jump over that gap, which saves several seconds. We're going to keep PRB and try it 2 more times.
Okay, that's 2. Anything can completely kill it now, though. Like this racer with a star.
Careful.
And the Bowser oh my god, what is this? My strat got completely derailed. I couldn't fit the other mini turbo.
The line got ruined, unfortunately.
Oh, that
was very impressive.
That was actually quite unique. I've never been in that situation before. This is an Abel first.
Yep. Things you don't see at all ever during the 32 track speed run. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the race. I mean, I'll usually take 2.5 laps or 2 laps of PRB. Anyway, final track, Yoshi Circuit. I quite like it. I think Puddings wasn't too keen on it, I'm afraid, earlier.
I like this one. The Ghost of Puddings might haunt me after this run, but it's fine. I'll deal with it. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. This is the part where we give all our shoutouts as the run closes in. But yeah, Yoshi Circuit, very fun track, one of my favorites, honestly. It just drives really well. It looks cool. I love the presentation. That red shell just hit the wall. Nice.
Yeah, it was always going to hit the wall. It doesn't seem to be programmed to go around, so it just sort of slams and dies. But yeah, it's I like this track because it's very explosive, fast-paced, and makes for a good conclusion to the run, in my opinion. So I think there's
a lot of items usually too.
Yeah. Okay, heading into lap 3. Sadly, it's not even going to be a 53. But
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Alright. And this is the part where we give our shoutouts. So, Abel, you could have the floor.
Yeah. So this is actually all scripted, so as soon as I finish here, I will do it. If I can just maneuver around.
This entire speedrun was scripted, including. Oh my! Wow.
Yeah. See, so that's what I mentioned.
I was gonna make a joke, but that was just too cool.
That's something that I mentioned before. You just got to be ready at all times when you're catching the tail end of the CPUs. They can do things like that, but yeah, that's excuse me. I hope this cough goes away by next Thursday. I really do. But anyway,
yeah, plenty of time. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, that was Mario Kart DS 32 tracks. First and foremost, thank you to SGDQ for having us. It's a real privilege to have been chosen to showcase the game I've loved most, and especially when it's for fundraising for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Is at the heart of it, so please keep donating. The Mario Kart DS community, since its inception in 2005, is still seeing new joiners regularly, both for time trials and for RTA categories like 32 tracks. If you want to learn more, visit the Mario Kart DS players page and join the Mario Kart DS Network Discord server. Yeah, we've got plenty of new people playing and a very active community, and we'd love to see you there. As for myself, you can catch me streaming runs for the game every day on twitch.tv/Abel. Thanks, Puddings and Mikey, for co-commentating. They've been really, really good carrying on commentary, being here with me today. So I really do appreciate it. Would you guys like to say anything real quick?
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you, Abel, for letting me commentate once again. Thank you to the Ghost of Puddings for joining me as well. Not much else to say. I actually have to go like right now because I'm about to have dinner.
Yeah.
But
Go
yeah,
ahead.
thank you for having me once again. We'll definitely do some more practice runs live pretty soon before the actual event at GDQ. And who knows, if you guys like this stuff, we might do it kind of regularly.
Yeah, I'm down. Anyway, I don't want to keep you too much. Go and have your food, and yeah, we'll definitely polish up a lot of things.
Absolutely, yep.
There's quite a bit to work on, but so far it's a start. So yeah, thanks, Mike.
Yeah. All right, have a good night, Abel.
All right, see you later. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay. Okay. I'm still here. I'm not ending the stream. I'm not ending the stream just yet. But yeah, thanks for the GGs. Sorry I've been not very attentive to the chat. It's just very, very difficult to focus on commentating, following the flow of my co-commentators, and paying attention. So I do sincerely apologize for neglecting my little Abels, my little chatters. Maybe I could do another run, actually. I think I'm not done yet. I'll do another run. Fuck it. But I hope you guys have been well. The reason Abel presses start when he falls off is because he's used to Mario saying press start to play. It's an interesting theory. But yeah, we've got a lot to work on in terms of the commentary. It's not easy doing it between three people when all of you want to when all of you want to say the same thing and you're just talking over each other, and also having to play this game and talk is very, very, very hard, and like deliver very technical points. I think the commentary was great. Thanks, Essie. Maybe if I actually, my plan now, this is the Abel Chicken Nugget McFlick twist to the SGDQ plot, is for me to actually lose my voice by Thursday and have these two just co-commentate, or just commentate the whole thing. So there you go. But yeah, hello everybody. Ultimate Chiptune, Gabe, Kinderparrot, Essie, Kai the Mortal, Erito, Stinks. Thanks for the GGs. You're watching twitch.tv/Abel. The hottest corner on the internet for your Bulgarian esports news. What? Alright, give me a second. Oh. It's the latency that makes it difficult. Maybe when cam is on, it's easier to see when someone is about to talk. Maybe, I mean, I'm going to be the one that has a webcam on. Or maybe I could tell them in the end I'm not going to have webcam on, because I'm going to be the one that's talking the least, because these two are delivering such good points. Hey, Red Yoshi. So it might be a bit awkward to have this guy on screen who's not saying that much, you know? So I might have to think about that over this weekend. By the way, this is my last stream till Monday. I'll be at TwitchCon. I'll be at TwitchCon this weekend. In particular, this Saturday at Rotterdam. Oh my god, man, look at these greens. They really want me to eat my greens, and I'm going to get redded now. Or the couch. We're all doing it remotely. We're not physically at the event. Plus, it's a bit difficult to get the notes up on screen as I'm playing. have them side by side. I need to figure out a way to get them side by side. I might do that after this stream. God. But yeah, as always, the RNG just hasn't been it. Look at that, 0.4. +4, sorry. I remember our ESA run went quite well, the first ever run I did at a marathon. And it was mostly because of the adrenaline. I feel like I lost all my nerves because of that. And it hopefully might be the case again now. Oh yeah, look at that perfectly placed banana. Fuck yeah, buddy. But yeah, the adrenaline of being like in a room with like probably 100 people watching and then like 10,000 people watching on the ESA channel all over the world. The thought of that was definitely what made the adrenaline kick in. Gonna head out now. Feeling my blood pressure to be very low. I'm gonna chill out. Oh, I'm sorry, Essie. Take care. Stay safe. Oh, my voice, man. Thanks for hanging out. It would be super disastrous if my voice is completely fucking gone, man, for SGDQ. I really, like, could not be so unlucky if this happens. Cannot be this unlucky. So hopefully by Thursday I'll be okay. It's all cleared up. ASMR, really? Is it good? Do you guys want this to be permanent, the permanent voice? He's just chilling, man. He's not even moving. He's barely fucking moving. Hmm. Okay. If you guys like the commentary, we could make it a regular thing. I think somebody, I'm not sure who it was, but expressed wanting to hear more of Puddings and Mikey talking over MKDS. Dude, what is that positioning? There was one race where in a single lap, every single banana was placed like in perfect positions that coincide with my lines. Anyway. Dude, what? See what I mean? It's just ridiculous, man. Okay, +6. This is against my average splits as well. Blimey. Whoa. Good thing about the RTA in Japan run, excuse me, the RTA in Japan run is that I'll be essentially mute for most of the run, just focusing, and then maybe at the end I'll say like thank you or something, like a written prepared message in Japanese. But that's the run I really can't wait for, because it'll be in person and I can actually just focus on the game. But obviously at an English speaking marathon, you kind of feel obliged to actually say stuff at times, even though Puddings and Mikey are definitely going to be helping out quite a bit, no doubt. There was no communication towards chats after the event. You all could do. Well, yeah, it's just that the primary focus here at Kinder is just to focus on what would be like try and immerse ourselves and be like try and immerse ourselves into a what would be a live marathon setting. You know what I mean? That's why we kind of had no attention to the chat. And I hope that's understandable. And it would only be for these sessions, I guess. If anything, and this is an idea, if anything, we could have you guys quote unquote send in donations during tracks that need donations. I actually landed the dock jump successfully. So I think for certain tracks we will be reading out chat donations. Hey Nabo, how are you doing? Good evening to you. So please donate millions of dollars in the chat, thanks, so we can read them out. Also, I disabled text-to-speech and other redeems for the time being. But yeah, it's very important that we get this commentary right. Which is why there's been slightly less focus on the chat. It's just insanely bad timing that my voice is completely and utterly fucked. Okay, I'm gonna bag. Get triple shrooms and just beg that I get this, even though it's probably not going to happen. No. I think at best I'm probably going to get a like a high jump that doesn't make the shortcut. But if I happen to make the shortcut, oh wow. It's a good chance of the Rainbow Road one happening. I got it twice already, which is insane. But hey, we've got 2 more shrooms, so we can try this out a bit more. Let me give away my millions to you. Give me a minute. Absolutely. I'll be waiting. I think I had the right line there. I just didn't do the jump. Yeah, I'm could be doing better, Nabo. I don't sound too good. I feel fine. I felt like complete shit these last couple days. Oh no, please Boo, please, no, 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 don't steal. Oh, it's still a different player's shroom. Good, okay. But yeah, I'm due to get on a flight tomorrow to the Netherlands for TwitchCon in Rotterdam. So yeah, didn't get the shortcut at all. Luckily we didn't get shocked or anything. And we got a 207. But yeah, I hope you're doing okay. Now I'm racing against average splits as well, which is kind of worrying. I wonder how good my runs could be if I do no mic speed runs. I'm sure many of you would be very, very upset, but I wonder. A lot of people actually do like no mic streams as well. Shit. Hola Sergio. Un poco fastidiado con la garganta, pero sigo vivo. ¿Tú qué tal? These CPUs are such crazy cunts, man. Ah, pues qué bien, ¿eh? Me alegro, me alegro. Hey, Ultimate Chiptune. Sí, el campeonato mundial ya va a empezar. Creo que ahora creo que el lunes comienza, ¿no? Cuando vuelva de Holanda. Tú, que voy a perder el partido de España y el de Inglaterra. Porque estaré en el aeropuerto. No me lo puedo creer. Bueno, pues espero que sean buenas noticias, ¿eh? Seguro que sí. A mí me subieron el sueldo hace poco, así que todo es posible. Me han dicho, Abel, hemos descubierto tu página de Twitch y la verdad es que nos impresionó mucho ver lo bueno que eres en el Mario Kart. Y queremos incrementarte el sueldo un 17%. Le dije, ah, vale, pues me parece de lujo. What's your mission today? A normal Grand Prix run, or am I wrong? So what I'm doing is I'm just practicing as much as I can for Summer Games Done Quick, which is coming up. In fact, I think it's starting tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's formally starting tomorrow. Or on Saturday. I need to check the schedule. So my run's on Thursday the 4th of July. American Independence Day, by the way. So yeah, I'm just practicing the run, doing commentary with Puddings and with Mikey, who will be helping me out. This is my third run today. I don't know how much more the DS can take, so I don't know. But yeah, Tick-Tock Clock, track based on Super Mario 64, the Super Mario 64 level. Quite popular. Got brought back in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. Races quite well there as well, I think. So do check out the competition in that game. Yeah, it really isn't too much to say about this track, to be honest. I mean, it's on, the track's on cycles. For some bizarre psychedelic reason, the CPU always gets hit at the end on lap 3. If you're at my pace, you'll always catch up and you see one CPU getting hit by the pendulum, and it's comedy. Oh my god, that was a pretty good run. Almost golded that shit. Oh gosh, I completely forgot how this track looked like in the past on the DS version. Yeah, it looked quite good, didn't it? So yeah, Mario Circuit from the Star Cup. Another track which got brought back in 8 Deluxe. You can make use of PRB. I'm gonna try and cut the wall here. Unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. What we're meant to be doing there is hitting an upwards. Like there's a bit of geometry going up on the grass, so it allows you to get some height and jump over the wall, and that saves around 2 seconds if done correctly. So this was quite a revolutionary trick which got discovered in 2014. See, almost got it there. I don't know if I should be going for it anymore, but I think I should be practicing this quite a bit before the run, like offline on time trials or something. I don't think it looks bad on the Switch, but I mean, almost certainly the original in any game, like, it's always going to look better. Oh, almost got that one there. Okay. I do like the little forest with the sleeping wiggler. I think it's cute. Yeah, I like it. I think a lot of people hate or bash too much some of the remade, brought back tracks in 8 Deluxe, but I don't know. Maybe it's part of me has gone quite soft, I guess. But I really have no problem with that track and with other tracks that got brought back. Sorry, I keep coughing into the mic, but I just can't help it. I can't help it. So yeah, Airship Fortress. This one got brought back in MK7 Deluxe. Unfortunately, not one of my favorite Mario Kart games, as much as I respect all of them. But yeah, this one was screamed for in the for the final booster pass wave, but we didn't get it in the end, which is very, very unfortunate. Did I say 7 Deluxe? Get the fuck out, did I? Yeah, it's quite a tragedy that this one didn't make it in, since I think it's probably one of the fan favorites in recent years. That was a good dodge. follow-up was a bit bad though. But yeah, this category involves you being ready at all times. With whichever item is coming your way, whether it's a blue, a red. Keeping in check with what items are placed where from the previous lap. Keeping a close eye on just the road in general, because there could be a rogue banana or a red shell or green shell or whatever. Oh my god, my buttons are just failing me right now. I don't know what's going on. Also, hey Jordan. Thanks, man. I think I played a bit too much MKDS today. Buttons feel pretty stiff and not great. And for some reason, on this track, we get a lot of red shells. Which is very, very frustrating because they cancel out the PRB. And in general, just slow you down. So here we get to do a technique called PRB reset or PRB restart, which lets you basically recover the... Oh my god, almost wall clip that. And the red shell AI is very, very annoying to read, and we can't do commentary if I'm just gonna get completely fucked and tilted. But yeah, PRB resets is performed on this level in order to cut through the mud portions, which is faster than like going through the boost pads. Right there. And for some reason I did a double hop instead of just snaking into the mud. There you go. Pretty horrendous Wario Stadium, all things considered, but there we go. It's fine. I would normally go for PRB here to try and cut through this flower bed, but it's very risky to take a wider line in order to generate the MT, because you'll come into contact more likely than not with the CPUs, and they'll push you into the water, so you definitely want to avoid that. Other than that, yeah, Peach Gardens, pretty standard track, really not much to say. There's a chain jump cycle you ought to be attent to right here in the middle. I'm just realizing this, I have like the most fucking stale commentary compared to those two. Jesus Christ. Thank God they're with me. Super fucking monotone, man. You feeling better? I feel better. I don't sound better though. Like I feel 100% better. But thanks for asking. As you can tell, don't sound all that better. Dude, these CPUs are such a pain in the ass. They always keep getting red shells. Yeah, no, I mean, I will go out and say, like, I have to, because I have to get ready. We have to get ready for this MKDS run, which is coming up on next Thursday. You know? But yeah, I'm more than happy to do it anyway. To just stream in general. Dude, my R button feels weird. It feels like there's a... I don't know how to say, but the trigger at the very bottom feels kind of... weird as fuck. I don't like how it feels. Even though it works, but thank God it works. It would have been broken by now. From how much I've been streaming this game. Okay, could be much, much worse. And into the lava we go. Okay. Never fucking mind. Huge shame. Huge shame. Let's see where we're at now. See if we can do... Jesus, man. It's just so incredibly random. I don't know. 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, I won't be, like, that won't happen to me 9 times out of 10. It's just bizarre. Yeah. Yeah, take that, fucking idiot. Okay, now we're gonna... Okay, that was my fault. I let go of A. There's just nothing I can do. Honestly, so fucking stupid. I'm actually struggling to beat them right now. This is unbelievable. 4th time now? Look, I'm getting blued. I'm getting blued in the loop. Wow. Okay, I'm fine, but... Holy shit, lad. They're right behind me. Oh, gotta try the loop cut now. Since I'm here. Oh my god, I'm getting blued yet again. And I'm getting lightninged. What the fuck, man? I'm getting blued again. I'm actually not winning the race. Incredible. Actually, fucking amazing, man. Hell yeah. I don't even want to continue this. This is miserable, man. This is genuinely fucking miserable. I don't want to continue this. Plus my R button feels weird, so I want to give it a rest. And I want to end the stream here. Also rest my voice. But yeah, thanks very much, guys, for watching. This will be my last stream till Monday. I'll be in TwitchCon Rotterdam tomorrow. Do check out my socials, and also do check out, if you're on the Twitch mobile app, Do have a look out for my stories, since they let us. R is broken? No, but it feels a bit... it doesn't feel as responsive. I don't know. It feels weird. And I want to be careful with it. I do... Like, this has happened once, maybe a week or two ago. And I think it's due to excessive use. But it's not broken. It's just, it's sticking a bit too much. You know? When I press it down, it sticks to the inside. I don't know if anybody knows that feeling. But, yeah. Thanks, Nabo. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'll be sending you guys elsewhere. As I was saying, do keep a watch out for the Twitch app, where I'll be posting updates on my whereabouts at TwitchCon on Saturday, I believe. And also on Twitter. Join the Discord as well. Is there anybody worth raiding? Don't know if there's anybody we could raid, maybe on maybe someone new on the 8 Deluxe page. Let's see. Yeah, I suppose we'll raid Jay. Let's check out Jay. They're really cool. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.